One of the most frustrating drawbacks to me as a gun content creator is when you get busy working with the industry people, showcasing new products, featuring new products, testing new products for all you folks out there, and you don't really get to do the type of videos you want to do. And so today we're doing a video that I want to do, and there's a reason for that. There's a lot of us out here in the content space that are lifelong firearm owners. We're collectors, we're competitors. You know, there's a wide swath of gun ownership that we cover. And to that, a couple months back, something like that, I picked up 5 new guns from the local gun shop. I want to kind of talk about those 5, and we may even shoot a few here, right? So, little backstory on this thing. My local gun shop often deals with liquidation of estates. So every now and then they get a bunch of guns in, and quite often a lot of the ones in those estates are pretty collectible, pretty sought after. This particular batch that came in, there was quite a few. I wished I had a big, deep pocket of money. By the way, join as a YouTube member down below, and that'll help me get a pocket of money next time I can buy more. I'm joking, of course, but um, the there was quite a few in this that literally were on a checklist in some way or another for me. And I made an offer on those 5. That offer was accepted, and here we are, right? So let's start talking about them. And I'm gonna start off with one we're not gonna shoot today, and we're definitely not gonna shoot this one because it's black powder. It is a 45 caliber black powder. Yes, it is a Kentucky long rifle. Now this isn't a period uh, old, antique, anything like that. It is a reproduction, but it's an interesting reproduction. I'm a big fan of 45 caliber in black powder. This one is percussion cap, and this one is made by FIE. Now, I don't know the exact year or anything like that, but I do know that FIE imported these starting about 1971 or so. And it's a beautiful example of a Kentucky long rifle. So I've got a couple. The reason that I picked this one up is I'd never seen another one out there that was, let's just say, factory and brought in by FIE. Most of the ones that, well, all the ones that I own and most of the ones I see are kit, meaning some individual, assembled them, finished the wood, did all that kind of stuff. And I thought this was really cool. So I needed to sweeten the pot, honestly, with the other 4 that I wanted. There was one in particular. We'll get to that a little later on that I had to have, and in order to sweeten the pot and make it a better deal. Of course, I picked this one up. And then I also picked up one here that you might not find too terribly impressive. Just your run-of-the-mill Glock 17. However, this happens to be a Gen 2 Glock 17. Now, I'm a big fan of Gen 2 and Gen 3 Glocks, and did not have a Gen 2 Glock 17. So I picked this one up. To me, if you're looking for, a solid, reliable handgun with no finger grooves, yeah, the Gen 2s and the Glocks, my opinion, are where it's at. And if you were looking for the finger grooves, the Gen 3s are where it's at. Haven't been impressed or the biggest fan with the Gen 4 and the Gen 5 stuff. So just a classic look in a Glock. It's so yeah, I don't have a problem shooting this one. So let's let's get it loaded up and let's put a few rounds down range with it. Before we start sending rounds down range, got to have those eyes and ears. You may have noticed the blue glasses today. These are the active blue from our friends at Hunters HD Gold. Been giving them a try, and stay tuned, and we'll have more on those, I'm sure, in a later video. As far as Ear Pro, the DeciBullz custom molded earplugs. Obviously, what we're going to use since we're out on the range by ourselves today. And we're going to kick things off here with this Gen 2 Glock 17. Going to go 15 yards on steel with this thing, a few rounds. I expect it to run like a Glock. Here we go. And just as expected, it runs exactly like a Gen 2 Glock 17 should run. The next one here going to be a little more unique than those previous two. This is the H&R Tamer. It is a 410 break action, as you can see there. Shotgun. Has really unique looking stock there that holds 4 rounds of 410. And the reason that I wanted to pick this one up is it fits really well in my collection of H&R shotguns. And I do have a video. It's an older video. There's been quite a few additions since then. But this one fits really well. Now, before picking this one up, I did at one time have a Rossi version of this. Can't remember what they called it. To me, the Rossi version is just, it feels cheap compared to the H&R. This one's got some weight to it. You know, the machining, the finish, just everything on this, just way nicer overall than the Rossi. And like I said, fits well into my H&R collection, which the Rossi obviously did not. So one that I definitely had to pick up when I seen it in that lot of estate guns. Now, this one here is one that I do not mind sending shot down range with. And so, yeah, let's do that real quick. A little 410 action now with this Tamer shotgun. We got 4 rounds in the stock. I say we burn all 4 rounds. What do you think? Woo! It ejects them. Almost got me in the face. iPro. Why iPro is important. Oh, yeah. Boy, I'm telling you, the extractor on this thing is tough. Last one here. I like the profile. It's compact. The way that that stock is designed with the pistol grip on it, you know, recoil, pretty manageable in a 410 anyway. But yeah, a lot of fun. This next one here holds a little bit of significance in the world. This right here, the Ordnance P45. Why is it significant? Well, Ordnance was kind of the OG double stack 1911. Everybody knows the popularity of the 2011 stuff nowadays. Ordnance, pretty much where it started. So double stack 45 here. And believe they started production on these in something like 1990 and been wanting one for some time because of that significance, right? So I was able to wheel and deal and get this included in that lot I picked up. Let's put a few rounds on steel now with the OG P14 45. Should really ring that steel. Here we go. It's a swinging, hard to hit. It's swinging so bad with that 45. One more. Can I get it? I did get it. Time it just right. You know, super happy with this purchase as well. But, you know, even if it had some minor problems, which it does have, you know, some minor wear issues, with the significance of this particular handgun, you know, I'd very likely still be happy with it. Now, I've talked about several guns in that lot already that I picked up from the local gun shop. This one right here was the crown jewel. This one right here was the one that I absolutely 100% wanted to pick up. This was a major check on my wish list. This is the Smith & Wesson Model 41. It is a 22 long rifle. If you know anything about anything in the 22 long rifle world, one of, if not the finest 22 handgun, semi-auto handgun, especially out there. The 41, Smith & Wesson spent like 10 years prototyping and working on the 41. And that was back in like the 50s. They started production, you know, commercial production on the 41 I want to say late 50s, early 60s, and they've been around ever since and been a dominating force in the 22 like competition world. So did all of that prototyping make a difference with it being a phenomenal handgun right out of the gate? Possibly, I don't know. But I can tell you with my experience with competition in 22, these things right here are a beast. So I'm going to put a target up, and we're actually going to shoot this one. With this Smith & Wesson Model 41, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Going to use the multi-cal steady rest from Ransom here. 25 yards. We've got a target. Let's see what kind of groups we get. With this one, it's not about does it run. It has to be able to run, obviously. But this right here is an absolute workhorse, an absolute performer. It was pretty much designed for competition. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to see how good it can do. Now, it's been a while since I have shot one of these. Hopefully with sight alignment, with all of your other normal things, I can do well. Probably behoove me to quit talking. Let's put 5 rounds downrange, 25 yards, and then we'll go take a look. All right. Not real sure. You'll see when I get up there and look at the target, but we're using a cardboard target with the black print, I guess, on it. So can't really see the holes, but hopefully that's a pretty decent group. We're going to hope. Let's go take a look at the target. I'm not exceptionally proud of this group, but going to show it to you anyway. Smith & Wesson Model 41, 25 yards on this cardboard target. There it is. Right there. Goes without saying, I definitely need a little more trigger time here on the Smith & Wesson Model 41. It should have done better at 25 yards on those groups, but I wasn't using match ammo, all of that stuff. But super, super excited, super happy that I was able to finally add one of these to my collection. Like I said, it was a top tier check off on that wish list. But I've got to tell you that there are some phenomenal 22 handguns out there. While I always say that this is probably the finest Smith & Wesson auto loader ever produced, you're talking about a fairly high end firearm here, and the cost definitely gets up there. If you're just looking for, everyday backyard plinking and stuff like that, obviously number one from me is the Browning Buckmark. For a lot of folks, it's the Ruger Mark series. And you know what? It just so happens that I have a video about that here on the channel. And you can go watch that one next.